Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Hepshine Abhijit Muri. Today's date is 18th of September 2021 and today we will discuss some of the interview questions of the loops or decision making statements. That is, we will discuss about some of the interview questions of the control flow statements. Firstly, the interviewer will ask first main question is that what are control statements. If we talk about the control statements will control the flow of the Java program. Means actually in Java program the execution process of the Java program is from top to bottom, and to control that execution the control statements are used. If we talk about the types of the control statements, actually the control statement is again divided into three subcategories. That is, first one is the decision making statement, second one is the loop statement or also called as the iterative statements, and third one is the jump statement. Firstly, we will discuss about the decision making statements, and also interviewer will ask what are the decision making statements. If we talk about the decision making statements, the decision making statements is used when the program will executed and how it will be executed. At that time the decision making statement is used. That's all about the decision making statements. If we talk about the types of the decision making statements, the decision making statements are of mainly four types. That is, if else statements, simple if statement, if else ladder, or nested if statements. That's all about the decision making statements. Then if you talk about the if else statements or simply if statement gives only true result. But in case of the if else statements will give both true, maybe give both true or false result. Actually the decision making statements or conditional statements will execute program on the basis of the boolean expression. That is, each condition is true or false. On that basis the block will be executed. If you talk about the next that is decision making statement is if else ladder. Means we will use multiple ifs, but the optional, that is default else, is only one. At that time the if else if ladder is used. And if you talk about the nested if statement means if contains inside if. At that time the nested if statements of decision making statement is used. Then the interviewer will ask what is the difference between if else if statements and the switch statement. In if else statement the main difference is in if else statement and switch statement. The main difference is that there are multiple cases are used in case of the switch statement, but in case of the if else statement only one case is used, and if that condition is true, then and then the block will be executed. But in case of the switch statement, in switch statement in expression of the switch statement decided which case will be executed and how it will be executed in the switch statement. Then the interviewer will maybe ask about the explain the ternary operator. If we talk about the ternary operator gives true or false result. Means in ternary operator we will discuss one condition, and on that basis on that condition, if that condition is true, then ternary operator will give true result, or if that condition is false, the ternary operator will give false result. That's all about the ternary operator. Then interviewer will ask how will you legally define if else statement. We will define if else statement by using an example, like if we will provide condition if in if line of code, at the line of code of if, but in case of else there will be no condition is provided. If condition in if is not true, then the else block will be executed. That's all about the if else statement. Then the interviewer will be asked like how will you legally define if else statements. That's we now declared. But then the next question may be asked what are the different types of loop. Then the answer of that question is that the types of loop are: first one is the do while loop, second one is the while loop, third one is the for loop, and last one is the for each loop. Actually the for each loop is also called as enhanced for loop, which comes in Java after the Java version of 5. But before that and now also, there are mainly three types of loop, that is a do while loop, then while loop, and then for loop. And for each loop is also here, but for each loop is used for arrays condition. For each loop is used to traverse an arrays. And if you talk about the do while loop, do while loop, firstly the block will be executed of the do, and then the condition is checked in the while block, and if that condition is true, then again the do block will be executed. That's all about the do while loop. But in case of the while loop, firstly we will give an initial value, then the condition is provided in at the line of the while, and the block is present inside the while loop, and at the end of the while loop there will be unary condition is provided, that is increment or decrement. That's all about the while loop. If you talk about the for loop, in for loop the both initialization condition and unary condition both will declare on a single line, and with declaring that all the three conditions, the between them semicolon must be provided. That's all about the loops, and interviewer may ask questions like that. That's all about the questions of the loop statements or decision making statements. Okay, thank you.